Hey everyone, I think it's time to introduce the next project. Just finished up the Fiesta ST and about a week later picked this up. So this was another situation where I threw a low bid at it and ended up winning it. So this is a 2016 MX5. Has 35,700 miles on it. It was another car that took a little bit of a gamble because it wasn't listed as a runs and drives car, so it went for really cheap. And when I got it home, checked the oil, it was full, checked the coolant, it was full, hit the key, and it just clicked. So all I did was jump the battery and it started and it runs fine. So apparently whoever was taking the pictures at the Copart lot didn't have a jump box, and they were just like, ah, fuck it, it doesn't start. So I don't know, mechanically it seems fine, and it's dirty now from sitting in the lot. I'll give it a bath a little bit later, but the exterior damage really isn't that bad. Got hit in this driver's front corner, and by looking at the damage, it hit kind of a glancing hit off to the side. And it really didn't hit any hard structures of the car. The bumper reinforcement, besides a little mark right there, that's the only damage to the bumper. It didn't even bend anything that I can see. There's really no structure in here. You've just got the headlight, the bumper cover, a big open void behind there, and the fender in the corner of the hood. Put the hood up, and it really didn't even hit the upper radiator support. All it did, when it shoved the headlight back, it kind of rotated it down, which shoved this up a little bit and back slightly. There's a little kink in it right there, and you can see back here this is supposed to be flat. It just kind of shoved it up a little bit. But this thing is so flimsy, it's so Japanese flimsy, that I don't think I'll have to put my puller or anything on it. I should just be able to grab it with my hand and put some pressure on it and take a hammer and knock it back where it's supposed to be. It's like if I grab the corner of the fender and pull on it, the whole radiator, this whole piece just kind of rocks. So that shouldn't be a big deal. I should be able to straighten that, bring it back out. I'll get a fender for it and set it on there and just kind of bend it back so everything matches up where it's supposed to be. So the exterior damage really isn't too bad. The door, of course, somebody wrenched it open. It wasn't damaged in the accident, but they wrenched it open on the fender, so it put a crease in it here and kind of buckled it here. I'll try to fix it. We'll see. Once I get a fender on it, I might be able to bend the lip back so it matches the fender, and then get on the inside of the door and push this back out, and then fill it as needed. I don't like using a lot of filler, so if I can't get it too close, I'll just put a door skin on it, or a whole door. So when I went to bid on it, I estimated, using new Mazda parts, I estimated a hood, a bumper cover, a headlight, a fender, a door. All the grills appear to be okay. The lower fog light's okay. Might need a splash shield. I didn't include that. But that's about it for the exterior stuff. All the mechanical stuff, like I said, looks fine. I could see in the pictures that the tires were bald, so I included that in my cost estimate. And I can almost guarantee it was not totaled because of the exterior damage. That's not really bad. I can almost guarantee that it was totaled because of the airbags. So we blew the driver and passenger bag, and the seat bag and both of the seat belts. As I'm a safety engineer, so blown airbags really don't bother me. I work with them daily. They just unbolt and unplug. So you just replace them and go about your day. These are a pretty good design in that you have the connectors on the airbags, and then that connector runs to a short harness that then runs to either, like in the case of the passenger airbag, that short harness runs to the main dash harness. So airbags are really hot and they tend to melt the connectors. So when you've got that short harness, you can replace that and you don't have to splice anything together. And likewise with the driver bag, in the case of the Mazdas, the driver bag connects to the clock spring, so you can just replace the clock spring and it includes that short harness. And then the seat bags, those are the inflator's far enough away from the connector that even if it does melt it, you can get the piece of the harness that goes to the bottom of the seat. So that's not too big of a deal to replace. And seat belts, those just unplug and unbolt. So that's not too big of a deal. The interior's not in too bad a shape. Let me put the top down so we can get some light in here. So top works fine. Interior mostly just needs a quick vacuum and a light scrub down. It's really not too bad considering it only has 35,000 miles on it. It's pretty clean. Might need a new shift knob. It's kind of gross looking. But like I said, it wasn't hit too bad in the front, so the air conditioner still works. The coolant system wasn't damaged. So that stuff works, but this is a basic sport model one. 16-inch wheels. Got the base radio, no auto climate control, no heated seats, none of that stuff, which I don't really care. It's a 6-speed. That's kind of all I was looking for, and I prefer the cloth seats over leather. So that's fine with me. The only thing I didn't really anticipate, the windshield was dirty, so I couldn't see that it was broken in the pictures. But I'll call Safelite or a local shop, have them replace it. It's not a big deal either. I did include a new dash because obviously this type of instrument panel has the hidden airbag door. So the door is built into the IP, so when it deploys you ruin the instrument panel. The older Mazdas, they had a whole airbag just bolted into the top of the IP. But I was surprised a new dash is only like $450 I think from the dealer. And I saw some YouTube videos on how it comes apart. It really doesn't come out that bad. You just have to take half of the interior apart, but it's mostly just clips. A couple screws, a couple bolts, and a whole bunch of clips. And it all comes out. Yeah, that stuff will be expensive, so I have to buy. I haven't been able to find a lot of used parts for these, so most of it will probably have to come from the dealer new. And my cost estimate on that was about, I think it was about $6,000 in parts. And then probably another $1,000 or so in paint. If I can fix that door, if I can fix the driver door, that'll save about $500. If I can save the bumper cover, this still got all the pieces, and might be able to weld it back together, plastic weld it back together, and kind of heat it and get it back into shape. I think that was another $450. So it's one of those things you got to weigh your time too. If it's going to take 6 months to fix it and have it look decent, then just buy a new one and be done with it. So that's about it for this one. Take a look in the trunk real quick. It's pretty clean too. We've got our tire inflation kit, no spare here. Just see, I saw some people that put some extra insulation in the floor of the trunk because you've got a nice hollow sound coming out of it, so you're probably going to have a ton of road noise drumming through the car. So that might be a project for later on. Like I said, fires right up. Start it real quick. Sounds like what you would expect it to sound like. No engine warning lights. It's got a flat tire, and obviously the airbags are blown, so got the airbag warning light. The engine bay is pretty clean. Sounds good. I'm not really concerned about anything mechanically on this car. Like I said, the tires are shot. These are originals, and they're almost slicks. So definitely new tires on the way. The brakes. There's a really small lip on the rotor. I'll check the pads. Can't see them through the wheel right now, so if it needs pads, that's not too big of a deal. Maybe rotors, throw those on it. Now think about if I'm going to upgrade the wheels. They're just the 16s and it looks pretty basic. Might be able to find some wheels off of a Grand Touring, some of the dark colored wheels. I think those would look better with the red. We'll see. Just start collecting up parts and start putting it back together. Alright, the update for today. I finished washing it, gave it a quick wash, and it's actually in pretty decent shape outside of the accident damage. Like one little door ding. Saw it yesterday. The door ding down here somewhere is not a big deal. Really no damage to the bumper. Trunk's okay. This quarter's okay. And little door ding there. And some chips in the front of the fender, but other than that, it's really in good shape. So the plan for today, it's pretty simple. I just want to pull the fender and the bumper cover and the splash shield out of it and the remnants of the headlight, so I can get a better idea if I need to order any other parts. I've got a pretty good list, but if there's something hidden in that corner that I'm not aware of, I want to get that on the list. So of everything I have now on the spreadsheet, I've got about $5,700 worth of parts, and that's if I buy everything new at the dealer. That includes all the exterior stuff and all of the safety components for the interior. Since we're going into winter, I'm not in a huge hurry to get it back on the road, so I'll start poking around a little more heavily, looking for used parts on eBay, Facebook, the forums, and ideally if I could find used parts in red, that would be really great. I won't hold out too much hope for that, but that would be ideal. So we'll see if I can get that $5,700 down a few thousand. That would make it even better, but even if I have to buy everything new at the dealer, I kind of figured that into my cost when I bought the car, so I'll still be okay if I have to buy everything at the dealer, but if you can save money, all the better. kind of got it apart, and it wasn't that painful. Went pretty quick, maybe an hour, get the whole front corner apart. Damage really isn't any worse than I thought. This corner is wrinkled a little bit, this tie bar, but the tie bar comes across here all the way to the other side. It's not really a structural member, it's really just a place for the headlight and the hood latch to hang, and the fender bolts over here. I don't think I need to replace it. I should be able just to grab a hold of it with the clamp here and pull forward a little bit with some pressure, and then kind of hit on it here to flatten it back out and get it where it's supposed to be. I'll have to wait till I get a headlight and a fender to get that kind of back where it's supposed to be, and a hood. I didn't get into any of the actual structure, which is kind of in this area. You got the strut tower and the upper rail and the lower rail down here that runs to the front to the bumper reinforcement. Didn't get into any of the suspension, and actually the accident completely missed the bumper reinforcement. It went to the side of it, and I know why it blew the airbags now. So right here's the airbag sensor, the front impact sensor. It's supposed to have this cover over it, but it's supposed to look like the other side, which is flat with the front of the car. Over here, looks like it took a direct hit and kind of bent it back, and along with this bracket, this should be flat also, and it's kind of flattened. That's not an issue at all. I can bend that back. I can bend this back. I'll get a new impact sensor for over here just to be safe. Yeah, none of the wiring is damaged, so I don't have to fix any of that. So it really shouldn't be too bad to get back together. The bumper, all of the, look around the back of it, the light's fine. I can reuse the grill and this shield on the back. That all seems fine. The emblem should be reusable. I need to get a marker light for over there and the bumper cover. So it's probably, you probably could fix it. It's just torn, but all the pieces are there. But for the cost, it might be better off just to buy a new one. And the headlight's pretty destroyed. No saving that thing. Fender, it's crunched, and I didn't know it until today. The hood and the fenders and the trunk lid are aluminum. The doors and the quarters, those are all steel. So it's really not easy to fix aluminum anyway once it's been bent. If you try to straighten it out, it usually just tears. But with the door being steel, I might be able to fix that. Once I get a fender on it, then I can try to bend the front edge back where it's supposed to be, and then take the door panel off, and hopefully I can get in behind it and push this back out, because as I bent this out, it kind of caved the sheet metal in. So hopefully that's fixable. So yeah, really the only thing I've found that I didn't have on my spreadsheet, just a bumper bracket to fender that goes there, and this little plastic trim piece that goes on the back side of the fender. It's just a little filler. So there should be, I would assume those are pretty cheap, since how even a new fender is only 163, 167, something like that. So yeah, shouldn't be too bad. And these tires are original and shot. They're almost down to the wear bars, and no, this one isn't bad. The other one was all dry rotted on the edges of it, so that could have contributed to the accident. It's shitty tires. The rotors appear to not be too bad. There's just a little lip on it, but the pads are getting close. I'll drive it a little bit, see if it has any shake. Might have to put pads and rotors on it. So other than that, it's got 35,000 miles on it. It shouldn't really need much. And now the search for parts begins. Hopefully I can find some used ones to save some money.